Gosh, it has been a day. It has been multiple days. I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? It's Thursday, it's 9 p.m. Okay, so it is 10 a.m. No, my gosh, what? It's 10. It's not even 10 p.m. What am I saying? Morning. Okay, I am headed downtown to the crypto arena. I'm gonna work from there today. We got a lot going on this week at work and I am so excited. It's gonna be fun. Let's go. It took me a minute to get here, not gonna lie. I forget how tough it is to find parking and also the traffic heading into downtown. So that was fun. Now I have to walk like a mile to go where I need to go. Okay, so once I actually walked into the arena, I got my bearings, walked around, and met up with my team. And we all met up in this like loungy area room, but it is not fancy at all. Even though I was working on site, I still had some Zoom meetings to tend to on my calendar, so I was getting ready for those. And then because there's not a lot of fast food restaurants around, we had to order lunch from Yard House. I got the poke salad. It was way too spicy for my liking. I do love their poke nachos though, so I do recommend that, just not the salad. Then we had some in-person meetings at the arena, and here's me sitting at the tables that all of the artists sat at during Sunday's ceremony, and completely surreal because who let me sit in these chairs? And even just standing on the carpet just felt like a dream come true. I firmly believe that most of the steps I walked were due to the amount of times I visited this snack station because, man, the days are long, but the options are endless. Being inside the arena all day can be kind of jarring, especially on long days, because when you come outside it's pitch black and you realize you haven't seen the sunlight all day. It's like 9 p.m. Done with day one of working on site this week. I'm so tired, I can't even find the words. The beginning of a very long weekend. If you want an insight into what my life probably will be like nutritionally through the end of the week, let me show you. This was my afternoon snack and also my dinner. I ate like 4 of these. Super good. This is gonna turn into a what's in my bag. I also have my portable mouse pad with my portable mouse. It has a little pocket. My actual bag with my lights, my laptop charger, my notebook to take notes. Oh, let me show you the other pocket of my bag. It has like my more immediate essentials. Pencil pouch with pens and some blotting papers. My portable power bank, which came in handy today. I have a pressed powder compact. Lastly, I have 2 lip oils, 1 lip liner, 1 Summer Fridays lip balm in vanilla beige, a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip gloss, and last but not least, a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Really all the essentials. It's Friday morning. I got like no sleep and I'm up early, so another day on site. Let's go. Okay, day 2 on site, here we go. We had an early morning. I cannot tell you the amount of steps that I walked from this parking garage to the entrance of the arena alone, I swear. I don't even want to look. Today was a little different though, because instead of walking into the arena, I walked straight into the red carpet that was actually just outside, and I was there to meet Entertainment Tonight, who was filming their entire show that day from the red carpet, and so we got some really cool shots for them and it turned out really great. Don't you love it when you turn on your computer and it starts updating itself? Like, pick a better time, please. So I took a lap around the arena while I waited, and I eventually met back up with my team and we got to watch some rehearsals for the day. So here's me just soaking it all in. For lunch this time we ordered Yard House again, I believe, and this time I got a burger because I learned my lesson the first time. After lunch I decided to take another walk around the arena, and this time was past the merch booth. I think it is so cool that they sell merch for this show because it's treated like an actual concert. Then I eventually headed back to meet up with my team and worked from our lounge conference room area for the rest of the day. It was another late night, so we ended up going to dinner together. This time we checked out Katsuya, which is near the arena at the LA Live complex. This was my first time having Katsuya, so my team introduced me to all of the good food. I couldn't tell you what we ordered because they ordered everything for the table and it was all delicious. So that's a wrap on day 2, maybe, of Grammys. It is 9:45. I got here at 7:45 this morning, so it's been a long day, but I also just had dinner with my team. Today was super exciting. Oh my gosh. I got to watch rehearsals for Sabrina Carpenter, Chapel Roan. Yesterday I got to watch Shabuzi. Watching rehearsals is literally like a private concert at that point. Like there's only you and a few other people in the room. You're sitting in the tables on the floor. Like it's the most intimate experience in such a special way. And I just feel like, oh, I'm sure people are gonna be blown away and I'm like obsessed. It's gonna be such a great show. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go home and the next time I come back it'll be show day. So that's crazy. It is Grammys day and I'm walking to Subway first thing in the morning. My very first Grammys, someone told me to just first thing in the morning go pick up Subway or like something quick for lunch because you never know when you'll get to eat on show day. They're just very crazy at all times. There are technically like crew meal breaks, but on our team, like there are times when you just miss those completely. Sometimes there are things that are happening right through the meal break that we just end up not getting a chance to get lunch, so we're stuck with like the snacks and chips and whatnot that they have in the production office. So yeah, that is why I have a small Subway sandwich, and after this we're gonna get ready. It's Grammy Day, my favorite time of the year, truly. Starting with these lashes that I got from Ulta yesterday. I only started wearing lashes like my senior year of college, and it was mostly like the last term, only because I knew I wanted to wear like lashes for graduation and I didn't want to look like a mess not knowing what I was doing. So now I know how to do it, but let me not jinx myself. Okay, 1 down, 1 to go. I'm gonna let those dry and I'm gonna go in with my brow gel. This is the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel. Don't mind my brow application. Okay, while I wait for my brows to dry, I like to go in and really set these lashes, like blend them. I'm gonna do this Makeup Forever HD Shine Control Primer, which I love and I will forever recommend. I just have a tiny size because I couldn't convince myself to buy a full size because I really use this for like show days the most. I don't really use this in like my everyday life. Next, I'm going in with my Cosmetics CC cream. I love this. It gives me like a skin-like finish, but it also has really good coverage, so that's what I like about it. I have like a super matte foundation I've used in previous years, but I feel like that's like too matte. Going in with my Fenty Matchstick in Amber. I'm just gonna use that for some contour. I'm also like almost out of this, but I'm not gonna buy it again. Then on top of that, I do the Makeup by Mario medium bronzer stick. For blush, I'm gonna do this Rare Beauty Truth. This might seem backwards, but I'm gonna add this Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer. I'm just gonna add a little bit because I am gonna cover it with powder. But I do like the way that it like kind of shines through the powder a little bit. Okay, concealer. I'm using the Tower 28, which I actually love. And while that dries for a little, I'm gonna fill my brows. So I'm using my trusted ABH. This is my brow definer in medium brown, and then I have my Brow Wiz too. And do a little bit heavy-handed because the lights everywhere will wash you out. I also use this Makeup by Mario. This is the F4 brush. Sometimes if I need it like done faster, I'll use the other end just to blend it out. I'm gonna use This is my Sephora brush. This is the Pro Concealer in 71. I'm just gonna kind of do that. And it looks a little rough, but that's why I go in. And I soften everything with this end. Okay, now for the lids, I'm gonna do this again. Going in with the Huda Beauty powder and a little puff. On top of that, I'm going to go with the Rare Beauty powder blush. This is in Love, this big brush. I like to just get some on my brush and then rub it around my hand so that it evenly disperses. And then I just swipe it on. And do it again. And then I like to add some highlight back. I have this palette from Makeup Revolution that I got for my birthday in college years ago. Can you tell I learned how to do makeup in 2016 yet? Then I also like to do some highlight in my inner corner. This is Lash Next Door Brooklyn Bailey mascara, and I like that theirs is very lengthening. So obviously I don't need a whole lot of volume right now. I'm just gonna make sure everything is blended in really well. Holy Grail setting spray for days like this. Beyond Until Dawn. It's not going anywhere. Time for hair. I kind of did like a mini blowout yesterday, so I'm just gonna bring it back to life. I'm also using this Redken like quick blowout spray just to protect it even more. This is the after. I need to add hair oil, hairspray, get everything slicked down a little bit so it's not this crazy, but here is a shot of the glam in natural light. I kind of did what I usually do. I just upped like a little more shadow, obviously a heavier lash, and then I did a lip. This is the Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine lip liner with my MAC Warm Teddy that I bought yesterday, and I do the e.l.f. lip oil on top. Okay, so I'm glad I headed downtown when I did, because while traffic was fine, the thing that takes up the most time on show day is getting past all the security checkpoints, because this place is locked down on show day. Like, no one is getting through that isn't supposed to be there. And here I am talking to the camera as if you could hear me, but little did I know you can't, so now I'm voiceovering, but I'm basically just looking for a place to park in this tiny parking garage. My first L of the day was thinking I left the light on in my car, so I had to walk all the way back. Michael's just asked me for the time, and we're basically friends now. So the minute the red carpet closed, I rushed back down to the floor of the arena. I checked in with our talent and made sure they had everything they needed to take their seats. The show was about to go live in less than 30 seconds, so I barely made it out of there. This year, I got to watch the show live from inside the arena. Most years, I just watch from the green room, but after being in rehearsals all week, I knew this was a show I wanted to see live. And here I am, just chilling in the back with my friends. And for dinner, I had these fruit gushers, which honestly got me through the day. And we're done. I'm ready to go home. Guys, I'm so tired. It was such a good show. I'm obsessed. Julia Michaels reposted me on her Instagram. What even? Alright guys, it is the day after the Grammys and I am so tired. My recovery drink of the day is Liquid IV. This is the lemon ginger. It looks so nasty colored. I don't even want to show you. Can you see? Like, it does not look appetizing, but it's the only thing keeping me going, giving me energy, because I feel like I got hit by a bus. Like, I ran 10 miles on Saturday, and I feel worse today than I did yesterday after running those miles. Like, I just, oh my god, it was a long day, and overall just such a good show. Like even being in the room yesterday, the energy was palpable. Everyone was having such a good time, like a huge party, just a big celebration overall. And I was just excited to be in the room for it. But so much happened. For starters, I was heading to the top of the carpet, which is basically where the carpet starts. So I turn and I see none other than Alicia Marie and Miss Remy Ashton standing there, like about to head into the carpet. And I go over and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys look so stunning. I am personally a pretty basic pod listener and also a Basically Unfiltered stan. So they were so sweet. They were like, oh my God, thank you so much. And they're like, what was your name? And I was like, Jennifer. And then they were like, oh my gosh, we'll give you a shout out on the pod. And I was like, oh, like, I've met them before, but just seeing them like on the carpet, this is their first Grammys, like, oh my God, it touched my heart. So shortly after, more and more people started coming up to them. So honestly, if I don't get a shout out on the pod, it'll be fine. I just know that in my heart, they said it to me first. I was still on the carpet, kind of making my way down, and I see Luis Swansea. And I noticed him because he looked so familiar, but I was also like, is that him? Is that not? I'm like terrible with faces and names. So I see him walking down the carpet, he's doing interviews, and I was like, oh, like I wish I could say something to him. But I personally was escorting talent down the carpet myself, so I didn't really have a chance to just pop on over and talk to him. Totally fine. So I went to go drop off the talent that I was escorting down by the photo line. They get into this big line that kind of like snakes around, and basically once they're in there, like publicists and managers and reps can't stand in the line with them, so we have to keep it moving on the carpet. So I was gonna wait for my talent at the very end, but I noticed that right after the talent that I dropped off got in line, Luis Swansea was like right behind them. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I might just say something to him, you know, as I'm heading out. And so I walked up to him and I told him, like, I'm a huge fan, you know, you were one of my top artists last year, so nice to meet you, can we take a picture? And he was like, yeah, for sure. So I took a picture with him, and this is actually the funniest thing, because when the nominations for Grammys were announced a few weeks back, I specifically like noticed that he was nominated because I've been such a big fan. I remember being like, oh my God, like now is my time to like see Luis Swansea. So seeing him, I was like immediately starstruck. I'm so glad like I met him. Like I grew up on his music. So many songs are in my playlist on a regular rotation. I cannot emphasize enough how big of a fan I am. So another funny moment that happened was I was again in the photo line just waiting for my talent to make sure they made it right up until the point they step out and get their picture taken. So I was just kind of standing on the side, minding my own business, and I see Julia Michaels is standing in line. And for the longest time, I was debating on saying anything to her because I'd actually seen her walking on the carpet earlier, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Julia Michaels. And I was like, should I say hi? Like, I don't know, I was debating it. She seemed, you know, like she didn't really want to be bothered, so I was just literally standing there. I was on my phone, I was, you know, keeping in contact with my team, and I hear someone ask, excuse me, do you know what time it is? I look up and it's Julia Michaels. Coolest interaction by far, because again, I was the one that was thinking about approaching her, and she came up to me and asked me if I knew what time it was, which honestly seemed like the smallest like thing, but I told her, I was like, oh, you know, it's like 3:30, I don't know what time it was. And I was like, by the way, can I just say I am such a huge fan. Your Inner Monologue EP, those songs defined my life a few years ago. So thank you so much for writing that. And I literally was like, you are the backbone of the songwriting, you know, part of the music industry. You have written all the best hits. And she was like, oh my God, like she was so flattered, so humble, so nice. We started talking about just how crazy it was to be there that night. She asked me, you know, how I was doing and if everything was okay with me with the fires, if I was affected, if she was affected. Like I truly left that conversation feeling like, oh my God, am I friends with Julia Michaels? Like the woman who has written some of my top songs like ever in my life. This is what I'm saying when I say that sometimes my life doesn't feel real, because never in a million years would I think that I would have this kind of interaction with some of the artists that I haven't looked up to for so long. All right, guys. Well, after an exhausting week and weekend, to say the least, all I want to do is crawl into my bed and watch my shows. So it'll just be me and my wine for the rest of the night. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe, let me know what you want to see, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.